Westlake, Florida's newest city. There's a reason people are talking about this beautiful place they call Westlake, Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I am with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Realty, and welcome. If this is the first time you're here on this channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button over in the corner. While you're at it, ring that bell. What that'll do is notify you each time we put out a new video. We put out new videos every single week. We cover all things going on around South Florida. We cover all things happening, whether it's eat, sleep, or drink here in Palm Beach, Florida. "15 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call Palm Beach, and we haven't looked back. Today, I find it truly an honor to help people, perhaps like you, do exactly the same thing. Each week, we help people relocate to this beautiful part of the world we call South Florida and Palm Beach, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about relocating to here in South Florida, and you have questions, you want to know what's involved, there's a couple ways to get in touch with us. Down below is our email address. That's one way. Also on the screen, you can see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. Two great ways to get a hold of us is in the description and in the comments section, there's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is that'll help set up some time that we could speak over the phone or through a Zoom call. Either way, whichever you're most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating to here to sunny South Florida. So if you're wondering where Westlake is, what's near it, what towns are near it, think of this. You have Royal Palm Beach, you have Loxahatchee, you have Wellington. It's actually really easy to get to a lot of places if you live within the city of Westlake. So we get several questions about Westlake. Westlake is the newest city in Florida. It was established going back probably about 5 years now. In 2016, it was incorporated. And there's a story to it, of course. Way back when, there was Minto is the builder that controls the area. It's controlled the areas all those years. They went out and they purchased the land, that big land. And back then, it really wasn't. There was nothing really out there. To give you an idea of the location of Westlake, it's very far west of most of everything else you see in Palm Beach County. So it's sort of near Loxahatchee and Loxahatchee Groves in that area, a little bit south of Western Palm Beach Gardens. Westlake, when all is said and done, is going to be the largest master plan community in all of South Florida. It's going to rival Avenir. So you're going to have two big master plan communities pretty close to each other, both pretty far west in Palm Beach, but Palm Beach County that is. But going back, Westlake went in those years and purchased that land with at the time it was considered Loxahatchee, and there was some resistance when they went and bought that land and announced their plans to develop. So as Westlake was looking to get their permitting done and getting things done with the town, and they ran into a lot of resistance, and what ended up happening, they said, well, if that's what you want to do, we're just going to incorporate this our community. We're going to call it Westlake, and we're going to make it not just a community, we're going to call it our own city. Thus, Westlake became the newest city in Florida. The way Westlake got its name is it's similar to a master plan community in Broward County. For those familiar with Broward County, if you go very far west, there's a town called Weston in like very west in Broward County, west of Fort Lauderdale. So that's where they got the West in Westlake. And then it's also because Westlake is more north, and it's sort of getting closer to the large lake that we have in Florida called Lake Okeechobee, thus the name Westlake, Florida. So the plan all along for Westlake was to build infrastructure because it's so far west of everything that we have in Palm Beach County, similar to other new construction communities that we have out here. If you have questions, reach out to us on these. There's Arden, that's sort of similarly close. It's also very far west, but Arden's a little bit further south. Also, it's a little bit south and pretty far west, like Avenir. So you have three pretty large master plan communities, all in the western part of Palm Beach County. So as they developed in 2019, the Wellington Regional Hospital here, they decided they wanted a presence there. So they bought a large chunk of land from Westlake, And what they did is they established their presence. In fact, if you go there today, they actually have the Westlake ER, emergency room. So they're building facilities there, and they wanted a medical presence because they know that Westlake was going to be one of the fastest growing areas, as it is, in all of Florida. As I mentioned, Minto, the builder Minto, bought that land and they basically wanted to control it. Now they sold that property to the hospital and the Wellington Regional Hospital to develop that infrastructure. They've also sold a couple of other pieces to other builders, and what they did in doing this is they basically felt that there was no competition with these builders, so they felt it was to their benefit to build more infrastructure and to do it in selling it to a builder that they felt that did not compete directly with them. These two builders that I'm referring to is one, there's a community called Sky Cove, and if you look at the builder that controls that, it's called Labeling Company. So I have lots of people when they're looking at Westlake, the Minto part of Westlake, they'll also look at Sky Cove, but Minto felt that they weren't going to, that they're not going to compete with them. And as it turns out, I found out from the lots of people I bring up to Westlake, they actually don't compete. Sky Cove is a little bit smaller. So if you wanted a larger house, I think the way to go would be between the two builders would be to go to consider Minto over Sky Cove in that regard. In terms of value, Sky Cove is good value. I think both of them are good values. I mean, here we are in the beginning of 2022, and it's hard to find new construction at this price point. What I have found in going back like 2 years ago, you were able to find new construction homes in the 400s, in the 500s. Now it's sort of tough to find anything in the 500s, and you're looking at around 600s as well in lots of these communities. You look at the competing community of Avenir, they're starting around 700-800. So that's why Westlake makes such a compelling place for people to consider, because the price point is quite attractive relative to other new construction communities we have in our area. So the other community within Westlake is a community called Cresswind. Cresswind is a 55 and older community. Minto felt that there wasn't competition with them because they're not in the, they don't specialize, and it's not their space to go into the 55 and older community. So they sold that part of Westlake to KOLTER Builders, which is a great builder. They're the high-end builder, and I think very highly of them. So the Cresswind is the 55 and older community in there, and they have about 800 homes in there in the Cresswind, making up the entirety at this point of the 55 and older community in the city of Westlake. So currently in Westlake, you have those communities. You have the Minto Builders, and the Minto Builders have divided their property up into two pieces. One's called the Estates, and one's called the Orchards. More on that in a minute. Then you have Cresswind, which is the 55 and older community, and you have Sky Cove, which is Labeling Company, which is some of the smaller homes within Westlake. Now that's likely to change because it's a big community. When all is said and done, the plans are to have somewhere between 4,000 to 4,500 homes, making it the largest master plan community in South Florida. So go ahead and click that like button. What that'll do is that'll help get more people in to see this video. It'll help get more people in to view this channel, because we would love to help more and more people learn what there is here in this beautiful part of the world we call Palm Beach. So because of the price point in these communities, there is very high demand. We are here in the beginning of 2022, and I have clients that have been waiting several months to actually get in there. They're interested in Westlake, and they want to go pursue it, but they're on wait lists. And some people obviously get tired after a while. I've had people that have participated in these wait lists for months, and then they've moved on to other places. But so you need to be a little bit patient. In the current environment in Westlake, you really need to be a little bit patient if you want to pursue a home. And it's because the price point shows good value, and it's a community that a lot of people consider desirable. In fact, I would even go a step further, and I know everyone I know that has moved into Westlake has been extremely happy with the community. So it's a little bit easier today to get into Sky Cove. They have wait lists, but it's a bit easier. Also today, again, this is changes because these builders, the environment is very dynamic and it's robust. And what is true today in January of 2022 could quite likely not be the case in next month in February. But I'll give you an idea of what it is today, because it will just to give you a basis, the wait list in Cresswind, I've actually went into contract on a few places recently. You can get in there. You might have to wait a month or two. They're doing releases, lot releases, in a very organized fashion. They're not just selling everything in all at once. They're sort of timing their releases in order to get people, people that want to get in there, the opportunity to in fact get in there. So the Minto builders, I'm going to use my sheet here to go over some of the pricing here. They have, as I mentioned, they have two sections. One is the estate section, which I think is rather nice. It's easier to get in there because the price point is a little bit higher. They start in the 600s. The lots of land are a little bit larger as well. I mean, you're looking at lots of land starting at 130,000 today, going up to 170. And that's what you have to expect today. Gone are the days where you're spending $15,000, $20,000 on lots of land. Demand is just so high here in South Florida for new construction. That's that's yesterday. But that is what you see there in the estates. What's nice about the estates also in Westlake is that they're larger pieces of property. Basically, you're getting a quarter acre, which from a master plan community and for South Florida standards is a large piece of property. So we're seeing more demand within Minto on the orchards. You can get the base price of their homes there are in the 400s to 500s. You can get a lot of land in around the $50,000 range. So there's higher demand. Now they basically today have two wait lists. One they call a VIP list. And these are people that have been basically waiting on homes there for a long time. And that opens up, and there was a point, I'm told from a source there, that there was a point where that list was about 500 families large, and that's how much in demand this place is. And now it's down to about half of that. They have a second wait list as well that you don't just automatically go on it, but if you want to go into Westlake, you really need to be patient. Like all new construction, I have to say this, if you want a realtor to represent you, you need to bring your realtor in on the first visit. This is the way you as a buyer can get independent representation. What a realtor can do for you is basically be there throughout the process, help look over the contract, help you on your inspections, like a drywall inspections, your walkthrough, and it's independent representation. Now, the cost to buyers to have a realtor represent them is nothing out of their pocket. In fact, it's the builder who actually pays us when it comes to us representing our clients in new construction communities. It also helps in terms of having a realtor to actually get in there. What I find is that Minto is very realtor friendly. They know that people like myself, I do a lot of relocations, they know people like myself will refer clients to them. So they want to stay on our good side, so to speak, because they know that we will provide a healthy pipeline for them in terms of clients that buy their properties in the future. One of the things I find interesting as well is if you go to Minto and you want to, they very much encourage you to use their lender. In fact, if you use an outside lender, a lender that they're not unquote recommended by Minto, they will actually have you put down more money today. That is, put down more money percentage-wise, required to put down more money percentage-wise in order to secure a lot and your home in Westlake. So if you're looking to navigate that process, reach out. Our team can help you get in there and get an appointment, and to navigate what is today a challenging environment in order to get into these high demand communities. The other thing I think that's nice is they give discounts to some civil servants. They call them civil servants, but so if you're a nurse, if you're a teacher, if you're a police, if you work for the police force, if you're work for the fire department as an example, and even if you work for the school as a coach or something like that, like some kind of coach for teams there, they will give you up to 3% discount. So if you fit in that category, we need to mention that right up front, because that'll be a big advantage. Well, that'll be an advantage for you getting into Westlake. Now, as they build Westlake up, they're building infrastructure. It will take years for that place to really to reach its full potential. They're building schools out there. There's Seminole Ridge, which is the high school, which is well regarded. As people are moving in there, they need more infrastructure. Westlake is building a town center. They want to make that area very self-sufficient for the people in the community of Westlake. The other thing I want to mention here is if you're interested in that area, Loxahatchee, that's basically where Westlake is. It's in the Loxahatchee area. There are some people that don't want HOAs, and they want the area, but they don't want to be part of these master plan communities. I wanted to let you know there are options if that's you. I work with builders out in that area. You can basically be adjacent to Westlake and build your own property. What my team does is we help you find lots of land, and we work with builders that will customize your home. Now, having said all this, you need patience. Even within Westlake, you need patience, and also if you're building from scratch like this by buying the land, it's a different process, but you really need to consider something in the order of like 14 to 15 months if that's the avenue you want to go. The other thing I want to mention is the amenities in Westlake are absolutely killer. They have a place called Adventure Park, which is like all-aged, big, gigantic swimming pool with slides and all this. They're also building in the process of building a similar area just for adults. If you're considering Cresswind, because it's a 55 and older community, they're actually going to have their own facilities, and that's what I find. A lot of these 55 and older communities have their own facilities because that's what they do. They make it more of a lifestyle experience. So needless to say, just want to point out that the amenities in Westlake are absolutely terrific. So if you're interested in Westlake, reach out. After all, it's Florida's newest city, and there's a good reason people are very happy that move into this community. Westlake, Florida's newest city.